You're watching SchreckTeck, where tech is Shrecky. This show is sponsored by Synapse 3DI at www.synapse3di.com and by Relate Corporation at www.relate.com. Hi, everyone. This is SchreckTeck, episode number 16. To the left 16. of me is Gina. Hey, Gina Schreck, how you doing today?
Good. Is it 16 or 17? Didn't last week
I'm sorry. We lost one somewhere in between pre-show and this one. I think it is 17.
17, because we were legal to drive last
That's
week.
right.
And so, now we're getting just old, almost a 20. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it's good to see you again.
Same here. You've been a busy gal.
Yeah, it's been craziness, madness.
And you're flying within about an hour, aren't you?
No, I'm leaving here to fly. From my house, it's an hour to get to the airport, and then, the whole 2 hour before. But, yeah, I fly to Phoenix today to speak to a really fun group of the business travel industry. So all the folks in the travel, shout out to you. We'll be getting geeky and talking about social marketing. So very fun. How about you? What have you've got like some car deal that you're wheeling and dealing today?
Leasing new car. Old car is done. New car coming in.
New out with the old.
Out with the old. Yeah, never seems to end. A lot of cars.
Yeah, a lot of cars. Oh gosh.
But it's typical when you run a business, you tend to lease versus buy, and that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, we don't do that because we live so far from everything that we get dinged for mileage if we release.
Yeah, the last two cars we've turned in, we've had almost no mileage on them. So
you don't drive.
We had 45,000 miles on our lease, and I think we turned them in with 25,000.
Here's my suggestion. Buy a bus pass instead of leasing a car.
The only problem with that is the about 25 block walk to the bus from where we are. Up hills.
You live in California.
Up hills.
Come on. Yeah, up hills both ways.
Both ways.
Well, okay, here's, we always have like some big breaking news. And this week, all the whining in the social media world has been around Facebook's rolling out facial recognition. It's kind of, I find it kind of interesting.
There's a lot of wind happening on your end.
Is there?
Or rustling. Is your mic somewhere beneath you?
It is, but you know what? I do always have my window
There it goes.
open.
There it goes.
Yeah.
It's a lot of noise.
Okay. Let's see if that makes a difference. Or it could just be my hot air.
No, actually it got quieter. It's windy outside, isn't it?
It's breezy. It's a beautiful breeze.
That was coming into the mic.
That's pretty funny. I didn't even catch that. But yeah, everybody gets up in arms when Facebook rolls out something. They do it backwards, and I think part of the thing that we're hearing with facial recognition is why don't they let people opt in instead of making you opt out of it? And so Facebook has rolled out, and you'll see it come sweeping across. Not everyone has it yet, although I already have the setting in my privacy setting, so you'll probably have it this week if you don't already have it. And if you are a Mac user or a Google Picasa photo user, you've already used facial recognition tools or software, because in my Mac, when I load photos in, the Mac will want to tag the photos so that I can search for people in my photos by name, and then it pulls everybody, and the Mac will recognize certain people and say, oh, is this Danny? Is this Kirk? And it will suggest those names to you, and you can say yes or no. So the facial recognition has already been here, but now Facebook is rolling this out. And I think the big thing is that people are freaked out is suddenly my face is going to be places I don't want it to show up. First, to calm most people, realize that the only people who will be able to see a suggestion. So let's say I go to a conference, and I'm at a conference. Rick, I'm at a conference with you and 3 other people that I'm not connected with on Facebook. And they're taking photos of our whole group. but I'm not connected with them on Facebook. But you're connected with them on Facebook. So they load the photos up on Facebook. Because I am not connected with them, my tag will not say, is this Gina Schreck? It won't suggest that because I'm not connected with them. But your name will come up as a suggestion, is this Rick Zanotti? And they'll say yes. And so it's currently set to, and it matches your privacy settings. So if your settings are more open, then and the reality is, my name probably would come up on their suggestion because I have my privacy settings set to open.
Though you do wonder about some of the privacy issues because the things don't always work.
Well, that's what I wondered is what if it's a picture of someone else and it says, this is Gina Schreck?
Right. But
currently people do that
anyway. That's true.
Yeah. So it's kind of a similar problem, but I think because Facebook, number one, is so huge. Number two, it is such a big photo sharing site. I mean, Facebook is right now the biggest thing that people share is photos. I mean, hundreds and thousands of photos. I mean, my daughter alone has, 1,000 photos a week that her and her friends take. So that is a concern. And the bigger concern is, okay, right now it's only showing me tags and suggestions of friends of people that I'm already connected with. Will that change and become more lax as our whole concept of privacy becomes more lax?
It's possible. It's possible. And of course, the more you allow a lack of privacy, the more eventually it's going to come back and bite you.
Right. Yeah. And I always say that. I mean, my life is out there on any social site you can see, just pretty much as my family reminds me, our whole life.
Well, it's interesting because if you look at it in schools today, they don't make you read books like 1984, which we had to read when we were growing up, which told you how you were being watched at every moment. We are now voluntarily being watched at every moment.
We're hoping people,
yeah, it's sort of interesting.
YouTube channels up at age 10, hoping people watch
very
them.
Interesting, yeah.
Every moment. So the takeaway of this is everyone needs to right now get a pen and paper to take down these instructions, because just simply go into your privacy settings. So up in the upper right hand corner, go to account privacy settings. Go to custom settings. See, it's not easy to find. You have to go to custom settings, and then under custom settings there is a section, I think it's the second section, that says stuff or information others share about me. And that's where you'll find it says suggest friends in photos. And it's something of that wording, suggest my name in photos or something. And so it doesn't say anything about facial recognition. If you're searching for those two words, that's not there. It's something about suggesting names of friends in photos. Click on that, and that's where you can disable, because right now it turned on and everyone has it enabled. So if you want to opt out of that, I don't know that people still can't tag you intentionally, but I think you can. Well, I know you can in your privacy settings. You can lock down your privacy settings, and then you can say, I don't want people to be able to tag me in photos without me knowing first. So you can set those privacy settings.
Now, interestingly enough, Facebook may be having another issue. They announced that for 2 months in a row, they have lost over 3 million per month. So they've lost about 6 million people on Facebook. Now, that's not that much if you consider that they claim about 685 million.
Right, they're almost at 700.
But for 2 months now, they've been dropping straight, and they're kind of wondering why. There's really they don't know why.
Yeah, and it is interesting because I've been reading how they're plateauing, but plateauing at 700 million, I mean, that's because they have everyone in the world on Facebook.
Of course, who knows how active those 685 million are.
I think that's the key, is I think people are saying, I never spend time on there, and they're starting to see people kind of flush, or there were people with multiple accounts. I mean, I deal with that on the business end a lot, that businesses make the mistake of opening 2 personal accounts with 2 different emails.
Right.
And I think now people are getting a little smarter on how to combine that into one and open a business page. So it could be a lot of that flushing out. But, yep, stuff like this kind of really bothers people that go, why did they roll stuff like this out when it relates to privacy? And then they automatically turn it on for everyone. So I don't know. And then again, I always say, what
Now, I'm
photos?
curious if you're going to have lawsuits like you do sometimes in the news or in the media when they take shots of people who are clearly identifiable, and then those people are in places they shouldn't be, don't want to be seen at, whatever, and then there's a lawsuit. So you wonder.
Well, again, I have to be connected with you already on Facebook for
True,
the
true.
tag to show up. And then if somebody tags you, you're going to get a notification saying you've been
Right.
tagged in so-and-so's photo. It'll show up on your homepage. You can go and remove the tag. So here's another two takeaways. Number one, when you're on Facebook, you need to check your profile page. Depending on how active you are on Facebook, I check the profile page every day to remove things that people put on my wall. I hate those little quizzes. Somebody answered a question about you, whether you're, whatever contest is going on, you're the nicest person. I never win that one. But I remove those, and then if you're tagged in photos that aren't you or aren't flattering, you can go and remove the tags. And then the second takeaway is, I ran into someone the other day, this woman, I did an interview for another woman who does this innovation show, Tamara Kleinberg, really cool woman, but we were talking to another person who was not on Facebook, and she was in her late 20s. So I was really amazed by that. But she said she doesn't want to be on Facebook, but yet people send her messages saying, you're tagged in all these photos. And I said, there's another reason everyone should be on Facebook, whether you use it or not. Create an account so you can monitor your brand, because people can tag your name in a photo, even if you're not on Facebook. I can just type in your name.
Oh, can you imagine the spammers?
Right. So, to manage that brand effectively, we should be looking at our profile page, going to our business pages regularly, removing stuff that we're tagged in that isn't representative of our brand.
And I believe there's also an ugly setting. So if you're ugly, they won't recognize you.
Or make faces. Like my older daughter, I don't know how facial recognition can ever see her face, because every photo she makes I go, what are you trying to do? Distort your face? I don't know. These crazy, she's not even a teen anymore. She's 20. But so that was probably the biggest news this week, or going on right now in Facebook land, is facial recognition. So not a whole lot to be panicked about, because you still have control. You'll get notified, and you can go in and disable that function.
Well, we live in Panic Nation, so just panic a little bit. Don't worry about it.
Where's my panic button? I have a panic button. Yeah, and I think the media likes to make a big deal over anything Facebook does around privacy issues, which I guess I should be a little more concerned. I'm kind of like, don't put anything out there that isn't representative of what you want in the public eye, and everything we post, or I guess I'm thinking, are people taking pictures of you in situations you don't want to be tagged in?
Well, it's funny. We worry about Facebook and privacy settings, but in over 1,000 cities nationwide, they're trying to implement mandatory lock boxes on your house that they can go in anytime. That doesn't bother people.
What?
But Facebook does. This is new. Yeah, it's not covered much in the news, is it?
No.
Yeah, this is stuff that's going on that you just kind of go, and we're worried about, okay.
Our facial recognition.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that on Facebook now with facial recognition, people can also check you in, and this is not new. This has been around for a while. With Facebook Places, I can go to Starbucks,
Right.
and I can see you there. Maybe you and I have a meeting. So I check in at Starbucks, and then it says, who else is with you? I can actually tag you as being there. That causes people to get into trouble, because even if you're not there, I can say you're there. Versus a photo,
Right.
that's you in the picture.
Right.
If you were at this party and you shouldn't have been, shame on you. But if you're not at a party or a location and you told somebody you were going to be somewhere else, I can just say you're there and tag you. So that's another one to go into your privacy settings, custom settings, things people can share about you. And that is another one that you might want to turn off, is don't allow people to check you in using Facebook Places.
That's true. Yep.
I would rather everybody check me in with them, so people go, how can she be at 500 places at one time? She is amazing.
Well, you are.
Yeah, see, that's why people think I'm everywhere. People are just tagging me, logging me in places.
Now, just for the record, Gina's only at 400 places at one time. We're working on 5. Yeah.
We're working on 5. I've got avatars being built that are helping to get me.
And she has a whole Second Life presence too. So
I do. I'm telling you, I have 2 or 3 avatars in Second Life that I haven't logged in a long time. Gosh, I need to get back in the swing of that. That's so fun. But anyway, another cool tool for those of you who manage social media, really using it for business and wanting to track how effective is it. Are people clicking on these links? Or is it converting to business? And because we're always looking for new tools for our clients to use, there's so many out there that measure one piece, and we use Bitly to measure clicks on links, and then if we're using Hootsuite, Owly gives us the link shortening reports. I found a really great service called 20feet.com, and it's spelled out. It's not the number 20, it's 20feet.com, and the little logo is a giraffe, so you'll know you're in the right place. 20feet.com, and you can go in there. Now, the free version allows you to have one Twitter account and one Facebook account linked to that service, and they will provide all kinds of reporting for you, and it aggregates the information from 2 accounts for free. If you want to add additional Twitter accounts, additional Facebook pages, you can attach your YouTube channel to track that. It has all kinds of sites you can add in to get one report that shows everything. It's $2.95 per account per year, not per month.
That's not too bad.
Really inexpensive. So I've been playing with it and really like the way that it's one report, because I have to put reports together every month. And I'm pulling data from, 50 different places. So this I really liked.
I like the name of the company, 20 Feet. Where do they come up with these names? That's a good one.
It's not a 100-foot view of your social media. It's just a 20-foot view of your activity. So, and from 20 feet, they can recognize your face. So there is a tie-in with the social media. So, that's helpful. But, but Rick, I'm curious, because last week we talked about Father's Day, and we kind of gave some ideas for Father's Day gifts. And we had, video cameras and things like that. Did you hear of any or see of anything else that kind of I know you got your flight simulator already.
Yeah, I got that little thing. I haven't heard of any specific Father's Day apps. My philosophy is all apps are good apps. So no matter how many, you can't have enough apps. In the old days, it used to be he with the most toys at the end wins. Now it's he with the most apps at the end wins. But
I'm winning. Just to let you know.
When people look at my iPad, they go, "You have a lot of apps." Yes. How many do you use? 3 of them. But you got to have them.
My son actually, he, for the first time, he was looking at my new iPad last weekend when we were all out in Kansas, and he's a big golfer. So I was showing him this Flick Golf. If you have a father in your life that has an iPad, you have to get Flick Golf, and it's a fun app. But my son was playing with it, and he started flipping through my iPad, and he says, "Why do you have so many apps?" I said, "Because I can."
Because you can.
Because you can. And I'm not even at a quarter of my space. So
you know what's fun? Also, the more apps you have, the more you get updates. Meaning, almost every night you're going to get something new in your updates.
Or you open it going, "Oh my gosh, there's 14 things that need updating right now."
That's right.
But I did find, I had a question come this week via Twitter from someone who asked me, what apps would I recommend for a Father's Day gift? And I thought, that's kind of interesting. I don't know why I never thought of, I know you can gift apps, but I never thought of that. I thought, oh, that's kind of a cool idea. I guess I always thought just give them an iTunes card. But better than an iTunes card that you can lose, and it gets placed somewhere in a special spot that you'll use later, and then you lose the card. You can gift an app. Just go to iTunes Store, find the app, and then when you click on the little drop-down arrow, the first choice is gift this app. and then you can send it to them, and it goes into basically an iTunes credit for them, but they don't have to have a card. But I did recommend Flick Golf, so it's Flick as in Flick, Flick Golf, and I think I had all the prices written down. I think it was $4.99 for Flick Golf HD, and I'm telling you, all the men in our family, all the Shrek men were lined up, 3 iPads going at the same time, and they had a whole golf tournament going. So it's a great game.
Actually, that's a lot of fun, too, that you can collaborate on a lot of the games and actually compete against someone right there.
Right there.
It's a little odd, too, because sometimes all 4 people are in the same room.
They were. And it was actually quite funny. And I took a picture of them because it was, just kind of funny. And then the Blade, Infinity Blade,
right,
is a great game if you have a dad who likes martial arts. Wouldn't you say that's a martial arts game?
It's a martial arts game. It's a sword game. It's kind of a
fighting.
It's a fighting game. Yeah, you have to go slice your way out of things.
But it's very realistic looking. It's very 3D immersive looking.
It's got nice graphics.
Great graphics. It's one of the top selling games in iTunes, and I think that one's $5.99 for that one. And then
I just downloaded the Thor game, Thor: Son of Asgard, which is it was put out by Marvel. It's a pretty good game. The quality of the graphics are good. The navigation is very easy. A lot of these games, when you're navigating, it's not really easy to move the characters. This one's really easy, very fluid. And you, in essence, every time you meet the trolls, you have to kill all the trolls. So it's an interesting game.
Oh, I love it. The games that grown men play.
That's right.
I like that one. But yeah, those are some fun ones. And I had another one for, the music lover. Of course, you can always get them GarageBand, because that's $4.99. And I think that's another fun one for people who like music, playing with music. I have that app. I still don't know what to do with it.
I love GarageBand on the
I have a tutorial on that.
Yeah, in fact, let's see. That I think is one of my favorite apps on this thing. Not that I'm all that good at it. It's been a long time since I've actually played any music, but I just find it a lot of fun.
Yeah. Let's see in the chat room if anybody has any other suggestions here, because you guys are the brilliant ones that have all the ideas. Let's see. It kicked me out of the chat room. I'm not sure why. There we go. Oh. Is that me?
That's me.
Oh, that's you. Oh, is that GarageBand? You're jamming over there. That's you.
So this is GarageBand with...
It's like a concert. Wait, where's my lighter?
If you see that, that's the guitar right there.
Oh, very cool.
Let's go this way.
But
and then you just...
Are you recording? Are you just...
You can record, yeah.
And you're recording it.
I'm available for contracts at any time.
Yeah, I guess GarageBand, I just need to play with it. I don't know. And Angry Birds, yeah, there are still those hardcore Angry Birds fans. And then look for there's other versions of Angry Birds.
There are. It's a lot of fun. Angry Birds is fun. I've been playing the Rio one. I haven't gotten too much into it because I haven't had time, but it's been fun.
It's finding apps and then maybe finding a collection of them in their hobby or interest area and then gifting the apps for Father's Day. I think that's a great idea.
And there are apps for just about everything.
Everything.
It's really amazing sometimes the level and kind of apps that you find.
And they're not all just iPads. So for those of you who are Android, either Android tablet or Android phone, a lot of the apps, not GarageBand obviously, but a lot of the apps and games, you'll find them in the Android market as well. Just search for the same game. But yeah, Words with Friends. Dawn is one of my... I love Words with Friends. I don't know if you've ever played that. Rick, have you?
I haven't. I've got to get into that one. I played Word Genius, but not Word with Friends.
Words with Friends, my daughter's got me hooked on that one. And, it's just Scrabble, but it's one move at a time, and you're playing with people, from all over the world.
That's fun.
And you can have multiple games going, and it's just a great like when I'm going to the airport today, I can sit in the airport and I can just be mindless for a while. And not that playing with Dawn is mindless, because she usually is kicking my butt. But it's just one of those fun games to play. So if you're a Words with Friends person, my name on Words with Friends is just G Schreck. So
Are you getting called by somebody?
you know what? I am.
You are.
You can actually hear the vibration.
I hear the vibration.
I turned it down because I can't turn my phone off because I have to show you the app that that I want to talk about, because this one for traveling, I used to be a huge Starbucks person. I mean, literally I would have 2 Starbucks stops a day. It was that bad. And had to have my grande non-fat caramel macchiato. And I hit that saturation point. It took about 7 years, but I hit the saturation point where it was too sweet. But when I'm traveling, I still will stop at Starbucks. Well, I heard that now most Android phones, the new ones coming out, especially the Google phones, already have the near field communication built into it. So you can use your phone as your wallet. And that's been a big thing right now. It's this big race. Who's going to be the first bank and processing credit card? Lots of them are now jumping on board, pumping money into near field communication. And that is the ability to just pull up the app, and you swipe your phone to make a payment. Well, there is a new app, and it's called My Coffee Card. And for all of us Android users, this is one of our neener, because it's not available on an iPhone. It's only Android right now.
One of the few.
One of the few. So we're very proud to use them and feature them as anytime possible. But My Coffee Card, you open it up, and there's a couple reasons I love this. You take all your Starbucks cards, and I have a lot of Starbucks cards for some people. For some reason, it's an easy one for people to gift. So I have all these little, $15 here, or I have an old card that has $5 left on it and $3 here. You log in your card number and the security code that's on the back of your Starbucks card. This is not using your credit card. This is just using a Starbucks card. But then you don't have to carry your Starbucks card in your wallet. So it enters in, and then when I open the app, it tells me it even has a picture of the card. I don't know if you can even see it. But when I entered in the number, it shows me the picture of each of the cards and then the balance that's on it. And then I can go up to the Starbucks counter. They ring up my order, and they scan my app. I pull up the thing saying pay, and I'll scan it, and it deducts it from the balance right there. Love it.
That's pretty easy.
And pretty cool to kind of test it in a safe way here for us to start getting, because they're going to have to change consumer behavior to get us to feel comfortable.
So is the whole key to make sure you are as over-caffeinated as you can be?
Exactly. I need one of these with me at all times. But there's another app, and I believe it's
for those who are new, can you show them your mug if you have it with you?
This is not even a big one.
Oh, that's a smaller one. You have a bigger one than that.
Smaller one, yeah. It just looks big, when I hold it up. It's only half the size of my head. But there's another app, I believe it's on iPhones and iPads, and it's for gift cards, and you enter in your gift cards so you don't have to carry them, and then you can use your gift cards right off of your app. And I've heard there's not a whole lot that are, they're still gathering cards to
Now,
be
is there
registered.
any security on those? For example, if somebody grabs your phone, they technically could have access to all your gift cards. So be careful with that one.
Yes. Which really, I have a friend who's a privacy expert, and he says, always have a screen lock on your phones. I mean, we have so much data now we're carrying around on our phone. And yes, it's a pain when you're wanting to make a quick call and you have to enter in your code. But think about all the stuff we're carrying on our phones. We really need to protect that, because you're right. It's not your credit card info. It's your gift card info.
Right, or the apps that can access your credit cards or anything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. I mean, if somebody got my phone, although I do have a lock on it, and my iPad has not only a lock but the tracking device on it. So, I've always been so trusting. My husband's always saying, I don't know what small farm town you grew up in that you trust people. And I said, it's a small little farm town in San Jose, California. But I now am getting smarter and putting locks on all my things. So we do have to be careful. But here's the downside to the My Coffee card. It doesn't work on drive-through. You have to go inside. But it works in any Starbucks in the United States right now and Targets. The Target stores that sell Starbucks also are already set up to use the near-field communication on your Android. So I'm going to be using it today.
Of course, can you imagine you go through a drive-through and go, here's my iPad, can you scan it?
Yeah.
It'd be a little bit difficult.
That is true. And Dawn, great question. There's two versions of this My Coffee card. The free version, which allows you to register one card. So you would have to keep loading your one card, which all you have to do is go into Starbucks, bring all your cards, and have them transfer everything to one card. Just don't do it when there's a line of people or if I'm behind you. And then, but there is a $1.99 version of the app, and then you can register as many cards as you want. So that's the difference in the free versus $1.99.
That sounds great.
Yeah, right now I'm using the free version because I wanted to see what it was like. And then after I use it, I thought, I do have a bunch of cards that I'm probably going to do the $1.99 app. So, yeah, pretty cool. So I like those apps, but...
and for all of you who are having a Father's Day this Sunday, have a good Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
We used to joke, what's the best Father's Day gift a father could get? Silence.
Silence. Which, here's a gift you don't want to buy Dad. I can say this safely because I don't think my husband watches this show. But he bought me this, and it's these power mats. He buys me every gadget. I literally have every gadget known to mankind. So, here's one of these. This is the $99 power mat. It's the brand Power Mat. And I notice in all gadget things right now, that's one of the hot Father's Day items that they talk about as the charging station or charging valet, power mats. They're worthless. They're worthless. I mean, truly, thumbs down in my opinion, because number one, you still have to have it plugged in somewhere, so you have to have a power cord. But the whole thought process is then you can charge multiple things. Well, it's not unlimited. They usually can charge 3 things. This one has 3, and then you need these goofy little adapters for each of your items.
So by the time you're done, might as well just plug it in the wall.
I might as well just find a plug. Buy them a power strip. That's what they need, a power strip. This, yeah, it's gadgety, but worthless. So that's my thumbs down. Don't buy a charging station. They do have those nice boxes that you put a power strip inside the box. They sell them at Brookstone for like $49.
Right.
Those look nice if somebody puts their phone on their dresser or their nightstand. That might be, but again, you're putting one thing. An iPad doesn't fit in it.
No.
What do you charge yours? I mean, do you just lay it on the bed?
No, what I do on the iPad is I usually charge it at night, or actually I usually get about 2 to 3 days charge on it. Let's say at least a good 2 if I'm not using it that much. And I'll just put it in the hallway. We have a charger there, and I just charge it right there. The phone I charge next to the bed, I have a little Logitech music player, and that's only because I also use the phone as an alarm. Which
right.
I really wonder if you go to something like a CVS or a Clark or whatever, Long's Drugs, you notice they have less and less alarm clocks.
Right.
Because the phone is an alarm clock. Why bother?
Yeah. And again, one of my favorite apps the only reason my iPad is next to my bed, my favorite app is White Noise Pro.
Right. I've got that.
You can real fun, create different sound mixes for white noise, and then it also has like chimes that wake you up in the morning. So, yeah, I like that one.
And you can record your message that says, Gina, it's time to wake up.
No! The bat signal.
The bat signal.
Tweet in the sky. That is requiring your attention. Yeah, so, another Father's Day idea. Jensen has a really cool, it's an iPad docking station, but the part of it is a speaker. So those are probably good ideas too. If you're looking for gadgets for Dad, those are always fun. For travelers, which I still have yet to buy one of these, and I really want one, it would be more useful, in case my husband is watching the show, than the charging station is the scale. It's a digital scale. You hook your luggage on and you lift it up to see how much it weighs.
You know, I got one of those last year
Does it work?
my mom actually gave it to me. I've never opened it. It just seemed like the most inane thing on earth.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. You literally
See,
pick up
I
the
have
bag.
no need to weigh my luggage. I know what my luggage weighs. I don't put that much in my luggage. That's a girl app. That's not a guy app.
It's a girl out because I'm like, okay, I need 50 pounds, and I lift. I'm like, oh, don't be 55 or
Yeah.
52.
No, it's so
or-
funny because when she gave it to me, I looked at it and I went, thank you. I was trying to figure out what would I, in God's name, use this for. I couldn't think of anything. And, you know, when we travel real light. You know, when you've traveled a lot, you travel with the least amount possible. And if we travel together, we combine our bags. And it's amazing how little we take on a trip.
That's
And
fun.
so to me, that thing weighs more than what the bag would probably weigh.
Okay, now I'm looking in the chat room, and everybody's saying those weighing scales are good, especially for international travel. Very true. Frequent travelers, great. Yeah, bottom for in-laws. So I'm thinking it's a mixed audience. It's not just for
It is.
women.
It is. But I think it is more if you do travel internationally, because most people don't take that much locally, or if they go on just cross-state trips, and they charge you quite a bit for the bags anyway.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. Lily said it's American travelers. So it's not just travelers or female or male. It's American travelers. We just want all our stuff with
That's true.
us when we go. Lily
true.
said she was searched when she was traveling into America because she had too little luggage.
Too little.
See,
Yep.
that's why.
Yep.
There's my reason.
Now,
for
I
bringing
think what we
everything
should do is have
with
a little kid compartment in the luggage. So you put your kid in cargo, and they don't bother everybody on the plane. That would be a good gift.
No,
Have a little
what I
oxygen
said-
thing instead of a pacifier. It gives them oxygen. They live, and it's good. Kids survive very well in low pressure.
Oh, that is so funny. That's funny. And a big shout out to Jeff. Jeff just got off the plane from Australia to somewhere. I don't know where you are, Jeff.
He is
but
in beautiful Vancouver right now.
Vancouver. So he gets off the plane, and what does he do right away? He logs in and listens to SchreckTeck.
I know.
I mean, somehow we need badges, like Foursquare check-in badges. I'm going to work on that. I'm working on the SchreckTeck badges like Get Glue has, and we're going to be giving you guys badges.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
We're doing it. I'm working on that. The social gaming is huge. So
We're also going to send everybody a blonde wig.
So the blonde wig, the afro wig, or
No,
my
little
sis-
Gina wig.
my hippie wig, or my normal hair wig. Yeah. Well, hopefully you. Yeah, Jeff said he'll wear the badge. You can wear it, or you can, you can. I know someone who's going to. She's going to get me these. We're going to get stickers made. I'm going to
that's
make Rick's
great.
head so big, and then my head will be small.
Oh, great. Thanks.
But yeah, I know it's, we're time to wrap up here. So my big takeaway from this is everyone go and play with your play. Okay, that didn't come out right.
Say that 3 times backwards.
Not play with your privacy settings. Spend time in the privacy settings on Facebook. Go in there. Remember, it's privacy settings, custom settings, things people can share about me, and make sure that you have them set the way you want them set, not the way Facebook wants them set. And share smart, and have a great Father's Day, Rick. Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you much, and you have a happy husband day since it's his day,
my
right?
father-in-law's flying out here, and so the
Okay.
boys could play golf, and so it'll be a quiet Father's Day because we'll be, relaxing here.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I'll be playing with some apps.
Yep. Anyway, for all of you in the chat room, thank you so much for joining us, and for all of you
Yes.
watching live and/or on the recording, we appreciate you being here. Gina,
Thank
we'll see you
you.
next week. Have a good trip to Phoenix.
Off to the oven.
Take
Right.
care, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye. And happy Father's Day to all you dads.
Bye-bye.